Hello, friends. Happy Monday. I need to take that overlay down. That's not real class. Well, I mean, we are going to talk about the Pullers Championship and the fan vote, but I don't need to have that overlay on the screen. It is Monday. It is January 6th. There's no snow in Wisconsin, but if you live in Kentucky, it's bad. It is bad. So I hope everybody got home safe from Lexington this past weekend. My name is Jason Schultz, joined by the Mike Idle, my co-host. Mackenzie is on her way to Cloverdale to get the merchandise trailer in before they build the track at the Midwest Winter Nationals. Brent Yaren, TPC extraordinaire. We could not have the Pullers Championship without him or Brad Holzhauer. The rest of us are replaceable. We need Brad's money and track, and we need Brent Yaren's computer skills. So I think, Mike, that's the nicest way I can say it. Don't you think?
You know, the best message you can give is the truth, Jason, and I think you just gave the truth. So
Thank you. I'll be here all night. Not because I want to be, because I have to be. So how about that? So I'm just teasing. I love it. Anyway, we are kicking off. Brent, is it year 4?
It's year 4.
Holy cow. How cool is
I was
that?
just trying to do the math in my head on the way upstairs to the office, and I had 4 in my mind. But, guys, that went by fast, I feel like.
I'm not quite sure how we're already here, but
Yeah.
we are.
Brent, would you say that you guys are still in the infancy or the growing or the developing stages at this point? Does it still kind of feel like you're kind of hatching out of that idea? Or do you kind of feel like you're where you wanted to be and things are starting to take on some identity that you were hoping for?
You know, when we first started, I feel like a 5-year plan is just like, we know in the first 5 years that something was going to happen. And I think we're on that path that, you know, our 5-year plan is it's going to be achievable. So we'll see how this year goes, but definitely need to just continue to get feedback from pullers, from fans, from workers, from everybody that's involved with the event to continue to make it better each and every year and bring new ideas and try to create more engagement and more like opportunities for people to do when they're at the event. You know, you go to places throughout the country and a lot of places are more than just a tractor pull. We want to be more than just a tractor pull. We want to be a family event that you can take out and your entire family and enjoy the entire weekend or the day and spend some time in Asheville, Illinois. So that's what we're striving for.
My favorite thing about this event now, guys, is the fact that when we call like the initial invites, we call them the people that finish high in their point series that we selected to get an automatic invite. If they turn us down, it's not because like the first year is, I kind of see what these guys are going to do, right? Or I see what these guys are going to pay. And now it's, man, I want to, but we're farming, or I'm not going to have my motor done in time, or something like that. I just know it won't be ready. We've stuck with this. We start right before the big season starts, before PPL, Outlaws, NTPA, all the major associations start. So we can truly have an outdoor Louisville. And it is farm show season right now to have an outdoor farm show where we feel we have the best of the best, as well as, the farm show you apply, right? And then you get either accepted or denied. We do initial invites, and then we let the people who pay the gate, who pay the pullers, pick who they want to see in the class. And the engagement that we get from social media. And Brent, us adding the 2-wheelers back this year, and the 4-wheel drives did nothing wrong. There was a great class the last couple of years. We decided as a team that we wanted to bring the 2-wheelers back, but we don't want a 6-hour show. We know people won't sit there that long. Our goal is to be done in 4 hours and less and have around 100 hooks and have some of the best equipment that you'll see in the country. And I don't know if anybody could argue that we haven't done that at all these first couple of years. So
one thing I noticed too that really speaks, Jason, you're talking about how drivers are viewing this differently. Several drivers are starting to use this as what I would call like a resume pull. At the end of the year when they're putting together their bids for, I should be in the National Farm Machinery Show, or I should be Hooker of the Year or Puller of the Year, and here's why. A lot of people are bringing up like, I participated at the Pullers Championship. I won the Pullers Championship. They're putting that up there in the same way that they're describing, their Bowling Green rings or their director's chairs from Chapel Hill. They're putting a mark next to their victories here, and they're saying, hey, this is a big deal. So, yeah, getting drivers to view this as the pull that you guys know it's going to be, I think they're starting to do that.
Well, and you see it as an announcer, Mike, when you're reading some of the resumes, like when you're a puller, you fill out your bio, and it's always what are some notable wins, and you hear that. Yep. I got second at the Pullers Championship, or I won the Pullers Championship. It's a great thing, and again, we're excited to be part of it. I can't thank Brad Holzhauer enough. None of us, Paul Romack, Brent Shorefide, Kerry Lowry, and then Yaren. I don't know. I do a lot of social media, a lot of promotion side of it. I try to help with sponsors the best I can. Brent is so integral behind the scenes with the website and the fan voting and everything. And Brent is the only one who sees the fan votes. It is never influenced. It is never biased. It is Brent just tells us who the top 10 is. So if you can't trust Brent Yarin with that mustache, I don't know if you can trust him. I just want to throw it out there. That's very.
I've had people say that, tell me that they think that it's rigged, and I just send them a screenshot. So if you think it is, I'll prove that we're doing it correctly. So.
Yep.
But
well, let's get at it.
Kind of going back to what you were saying too, Jason. With the initial invites, and it seems to be a little bit easier now. So this year was again, each year we've had a higher percentage of our initial invites accept their invitation. So this year we had 42 initial invites, and 27 or 28, I forget exactly what the number is, did accept it. And like Jason said, majority of them that declined, it's either they're farming, they had other obligations like weddings or graduations or something during that weekend. So great to see that pollers are starting to buy into what we're trying to do, and they're seeing this event as an opportunity also to get out and compete against the best of the best before the season starts. It's a great opportunity for them to try something different, see if it works.
Brent, you guys have swapped the 4-wheel drives for the super modified 2-wheel drives. Is that going to be the only shakeup in class lineup differences between 24 and 25?
That, and we also did drop diesel supers. That class is just tough to get numbers.
It is.
Each year we usually start out great. I mean, 8, 10 diesel supers by 2 months out, and then they start after the farm show, a couple, 1 or 2 will break, or parts start happening, or all of a sudden farming just, some of them just took the risk and tried to make it, but farming gets in the way. And so we decided to cut it out for now. I'm not saying it won't be back, but we'll see kind of what happens here.
If anybody thinks we play favoritism, I own a diesel super stock, and I was the first one, Brent, to say, guys,
Jason was the first one. He's just like, I understand if you guys don't want diesel supers. He's just like, so if we need to cut them, we can cut them. So we'll see how it goes this year. And we also discussed light pros, but right now it's kind of in the phase of components are just starting to make their way in.
Yeah.
And we want to see how the current rule set's going to play with the component and egg side. So we're going to probably give that a little bit, maybe another year, just kind of see. This will probably be our true first test, because as far as I know, there's only one component light pro out last year, and it took them a while just to get down the track. So we'll see kind of what this next year has in store. I know there's quite a few that are going to be coming out as the woodworks here to debut as a component light pro, and I know there's more on the way. So we're just gonna kind of play things by ear with that class, and we discuss unlimited supers, bring them back. There's, I think, between national classes and like Silver Series, like classes between PPL, NTPA, and Outlaws, there's like 15 or 16 classes that really kind of meet those standards, and wish we could have all of them. But yeah, looking for a 4-hour show around that 100 hooks is about a 4-hour show for us. Yep. And at the pace that we move, and we're going to keep it at that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is a good pace too. It was over. I think both shows were done last year between 11 and 11:30. It's like right at that 4-hour hook. It's a great event. Say what?
At 10 and 10:30, we start at 6.
Well, true. Yeah. I'm ahead by an hour. I was thinking 7 to 11:30.
Yeah.
6 to 10:30. So.
Yep. So.
But what's going on tonight? Big news tonight, right?
Yeah. So shortly here, 8:00, the fan vote will be starting. Hopefully, all my scheduled things actually start pushing out at that time. So everything's ready to go. Website should update at 8:00. The link on the website should start working. And also we'll have a post on the Facebook page as well. So be able to find the link for that. There is right on the homepage. If you go to the website, you can find, there's a little button at the top that says fan voting, I think is what I named it. And then there's also a tab that you can go to. You can also check out the initial invites. I don't have their information filled out. Don't have pictures of them yet. And I've just been too busy and haven't got time for that. But I did go through and get all of the initial invites added today. We can go through that as well. Just kind of see who's accepted their invites. We'll be making those Facebook posts for each one of them. Kind of just highlight each one of the competitors that will be at the Polaris Championship, May 16th and 17th this year, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Got to start. So each year I post those dates hundreds of times, and they get stuck in your head, and then you move the next year. And the first couple months are difficult to get the old ones out. But yep, May 16th.
I made a Snapchat video today, Brett. And I was like, I think it's the 16th and 17th.
I know.
Yeah, someone put question marks in your teleprompter on your Snapchat today, Jason. I noticed that May 16th and 17th.
Yeah, like Anchorman. Put the question mark at the end.
That's
I would know, but I struggled a little bit there. So, yep. Well, we talk about so many polls all the time. We're going to Zellwood this weekend, January 10th and 11th. And then, Mackenzie and Hope are on their way to Cloverdale. That's January 9th or 11th. And then Satsuma, Florida is February 7th and 8th. And, it's just, all these dates. So it's kind of fun.
Brent, on the website where it has pullers that have, you've reached out to your initial invites, which are the top finishers of the three major professional associations. Are those the only ones that we will see, or are you still waiting on some yes or no's?
Those are all the ones that have committed to us. Again, things can change. Obviously, farm show, they could have some sort of major breakage. They have to back out.
Are there any initial invites that haven't replied to you yet?
So the deadline has passed. So if they are not on there, they are they have essentially given up their spot for fan voting.
So the power at this point, based beyond what we see listed there, is up to the fans. Now, will your fan list, this is what blows me away, Brent, that you do every year, compiling the list of potential candidates that you can vote for. Is that going to be, is the list ready to go? And is it reflective of ones that are willing to pull, ones that are not willing to pull?
So the list that is on the first round of fan voting is a list of every competitor I could possibly find that has competed in the last year or two. From there, so after the first round of fan voting is done, we will go through and we'll take the top 20. We reach out to every single one of them and say, will you accept an invite if you get voted in through round 2? If they say no, we move on to puller number 21. And we keep moving down that list until we fill out 20 spots. If we go through that entire list and there's only 17 of them, it's going to be a round of 17. Instead of the top one.
And how many? What is the cutoff number for total entries per class?
So it's however many we need to fill the class. So
but what's a full class is what I'm trying to ask.
Full class is going to be 10. So we'll say 2-wheel drives. We have 6 initial invites, so we have 4 more spots. There's 269 2-wheel drives on there.
I was going to say, that's some major fan voting. That's going to be huge.
So actually, you take out the 7 initial invites because they will not be on that list. So if they turn down their initial invite, they are not on the fan voting. So there's actually then 262 2-wheel drives competing for 4 spots.
So, and I love doing this. This is like a side quest that I have every year when we have this chit chat. So that you're basically saying, to the best of Brent Yarn's knowledge, there are 269 super modified 2-wheel drive trucks that pull competitively in the United States and Canada.
Correct. That I could find.
Right.
A couple of them had some questions about on whether I didn't know if maybe it's sold and it's under a new name I don't know about. I just put it on the list. We'll reach out if we need to, if it gets to that point, and they'll tell us, it's sold. Okay, well, then I know. But so there's only a handful of them like that. And then there's been a couple that I know are still in the stable, but they just didn't pull this last year. They're still on the list. Again, if they get voted in, they say that they're not going to be out, and we'll just move on to the next one.
So fans can start voting at 8:00 tonight. Yep. How there's that good old adage of getting to the polls, vote early, vote often. How often can fans vote? Walk everyone through that process if they're not familiar with it.
Explain that again. I was reading a comment. Sorry.
You're fine. How many times, if I want to vote, if I want to go on there, register my email, how many times can I vote per day or per week?
Okay. Yep. So you can vote once a day. And voting is open until 11:59 p.m. on January 19th, which is a Sunday. So essentially, not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday. So roughly 13. You can vote for 13 total days, or 14 because you still have a couple hours left today. And then from there, like I said, it's once per person, multiple people in the family. It's not restricted to an IP or anything like that. So you can go ahead and vote. And then, like I said, so say two-wheel drives, you can vote up to 4 because that's how many spots we have. I'm trying to think. Mini rods, I think we need 5 or 6. So you can vote for 5 or 6, however many it is. And so, yeah, they'll be for 7 total classes that are, so it's our classes that are not promoter's choice. So we have 10 total classes, 3 of them are promoter's choice. So the 85 Limited Pros, the modified tractors, and the super semis are all promoter's choice classes. So we just reach out to those. 85s, obviously, just the area is very well known for the 85 Limited Pro stock. So we just bring them in for local, like the local fan base that really follows them. And then mods and semis are just, the numbers are limited, so we just reach out and try to get a class of them. But yeah, the rest of the 7 classes, you'll be able to vote who you want to see, and pretty straightforward. I saw the comment I was reading when I got distracted is that one right there. How you get on the fan vote, I put you on it. We go out and we figure out who's all pulled in the class, and we put you on. Comes to it and you're in the top 20, we reach out, and you don't want to go, that's fine. We'll move on to the next person, but at least the
so if you're a puller,
there.
If you're a puller and you don't see yourself on one of the proper lists, message the Pullers Championship Facebook page right away. And I think the first year Brent might have missed a couple, but I think he's got it pretty much dialed in now. Brent's got a whole collab. Who all helps you with all these names? Like,
so pretty much for the most part, I mean, I go out, but then I'll send it to a couple of them is Shane Hunt and Wyatt Schulte. Those two are very deep into the pulling world. They like to stay on top of those, vehicles with changing hands and, different things like that. So I'll reach out to them if I don't know. And if they don't know, they'll reach out to people for me that will know. So do appreciate them for, taking that time to, help out with trying to figure out, some of these vehicles, and they change hands and whatnot. So that's where if you're a puller, you don't see your name on the list, just let us know. I mean, there's builds that are happening every year. If you got a new vehicle, let us know. We'll put it on there. But yeah, just let us know. There's some people that jump classes as well. If you're a pro stock, a 5.0 pro stock, and you'd be willing to put on a bigger charger, let us know. We'll put you on the list. If you're a 3.6 truck and you want to put on a bigger charger, run the super stock diesel truck class, let us know. We'll put you on the list. But if you haven't ran it in the past, you will not be on there.
And I think another thing too, how hard is it to, let your people know how to fan vote? It's as simple as you go on your Facebook page or your Instagram or your TikTok or your Twitter or your Snapchat or whatever and say, hey, go to thepullerschampionship.com and vote for us. Okay. Now you want to be strategic about it too. Brent, it does, like, if there's 6 available spots, you don't have to vote for 6, right? You could just vote for the people
you can
that you want to there, right?
You can just vote for one individual. And you can, if you just want to vote for, if you have family and friends and they don't know the other classes, like, they don't have to vote for the other classes. They can just go to your class, go find you, click on you, and just continue on and submit it. If your vehicle gets in the top 20, you'll move on to round 2 of fan voting. Again, we'll reach out to those pullers, and we'll we'll ask them if they would accept the invite if they were to get voted through round 2. And if you say yes, then we will put you on that list. And then there'll be a second round, same scenario. You'll vote for the X amount for each class, and then out of that top 20, we will take. So just going back 2-wheel drives, we need 4 to fill the rest of the class. We'll take the top 4 out of the top 20.
I think Doug was asking a question earlier. Comment was up on the screen for a while, and I didn't read it. Was asking about possibly teching or inspections or something like that.
Yeah. So this year we sent a bid packet out to the NTPA, the Outlaws, and PPL, and we said this is what we want, and what can you do? And so it was sealed bids. Again, I didn't see them at all. They went directly to Brad Holzhauer himself, and I think Carrie. They went through them, and they check insurance and like that. And then PPL won the bid again this year. So again, it's not a PPL pull. but it is PPL sanctioning, or how do we say that, Brent? They're going to tech it, and
Yeah,
they're going to flag it.
So
and
they
they're gonna-
oversee the event for us. So they're going to do all the staging, the teching. They'll have the people flagging the track. They'll do the lineups, all that stuff. So essentially, we hire them, like essentially their crew. They come. You'll see them in TPC shirts, and they work alongside us to put on a good show.
Is that association also, and this is just pure curiosity, are they in charge of contacting a sled operator, or does the Pullers Championship, do you guys line that up?
We already have, so we do that, and we already have Bungart signed on for this year. So with Bungart Motorsports, Brandon, Donnie, Ed, the rest of the crew over there, best sled operators in the business, in our opinion. So that's who we brought in, and they do really well at the track. They've been there, I don't know how many times.
I believe they do Brad's fall event too.
Yeah,
that's huge.
So at 8:00 tonight, in 5 minutes, we can go on here. It's fun because not only are you voting, but you can peruse for all you data analysts in the tractor pulling world who are like, how many vehicles are out there, and who has what and what's in the works. A lot of different ways to vote too, as both Brent and Jason have said tonight. You don't have to. This is a mistake I made my first year voting. You're not required to vote for all 4 spots. If I want to go on there and just vote for my buddy, just vote for my buddy. You're not required to vote for all classes. And I say this every year, and I'll say it again. Scroll down. Do not forget to scroll down when you vote. My first couple of years, I thought the list was limited to what I could see on my screen. Scroll down. These are big lists. Make sure that you sort through them.
A couple little tricks too. It is easier to vote on a computer because you can do a Control F and do a find.
Yeah.
So when you're looking in the list of 262 wheelers, you can do a Control F and be like, in 2-wheel drive class, okay, I want to find RJ Simon, and you can type in RJ Simon and find his vehicles. So a lot easier if you do it on a computer. If not, you just have to kind of scroll through. I think you can do it on your phone. It's just going to be a little bit more tedious, but
I'm old. I like to do things on my computer, so I have better font.
Yeah. So just going through the number of entries in each class, or in the fan voting, it's about just over 160 super farms, about 185 limited pros, about 90 pro stocks, about 95 light super stocks, about 265 two-wheel drives, and about 50 to 55 super stock diesel trucks, and about 80 mini rods.
80
now,
mini
the
rods.
super stock diesel trucks is super easy to figure out how many there are, because all you have to do is go to Diesels and Dark Corners and just copy and paste.
That's a very good majority of them. Yes.
You're pretty close to just saying, okay, how many are in the country? They're at this event.
Yeah, it's actually pretty easy to figure that one out because it's PPL, NTPA, and then you go to OSTPA for their state class. You go to Full Pull Productions, and you just have to figure out. You just take out their one nitrous truck, and then a couple of the other ones, that the blower trucks that are out there, and you pretty much have your entire class already.
Yep.
So
far and away the biggest class, national level class, as most probably would have guessed, in the country is the super modified 2-wheel drive trucks.
Yeah.
I don't think that would surprise you. Did you say mini rods? How many mini rods out there?
So the total mini rods, there's 88 is what there are a couple that I haven't seen in 3 or 4 years. So I'm not sure if they're still out there. They could have parted them out. I'm not sure. But about 88 mini rods.
No. Yeah. A lot of pulling. A lot of pullers out there. John Board wants to know if there's any West Coast pullers we need to push for here in the vote. I think we saw last year the power of social media and getting engaged on that. So, push for, who you feel is.
There's some super farm pullers out in California.
Yep.
Some mod pullers.
There's a couple two-wheel drives out there.
Yep.
There's technically not California, but polls with the United Pullers or the United States Pullers, I think is what it's called, or United Truck and Tractor Pullers, something like that. I think he's from Utah. It's Caleb Hales. He's got a super stock diesel truck. But yeah, there's quite a few super farms out in that neck of the woods. I think 5 of them are going to Clint's poll here this week. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tim Perry, Jeff Perry, Matt Crow, that bunch is going, I know.
Yep. The guy that he's got the planter tractor, and he bought the walk and tall of Hildebrand's super farm, I believe, as well. So,
Dylan Dirks is wondering who all accepted initial invites, or have they shown that yet? Have we posted
yeah,
that
I
yet?
can go through that list here quick. So 95 limited pros. We had the 2 promoters choice, obviously, with the 618 Motorsports 4-1, and then Brent Shore fighting the Shigon 4.1. But then we had 3 accept. That's George Byer in the side piece. That is our champion from last year. And then David Novak, the Mean Farmer, and then Josh Dutton in time for one more. In Super Farms, checking out Ryan Anderson. He was our champion last year. Chuck Gutenberg, Positive Ground, Brad Woods, and Thunderstruck, and Casey Fritz in the Twisted Deer.
So 6 fan vote spots there.
Yep. In the Pro Stock, we have our promoter's choice of the 618 Motorsports Pro Stock, and then Chance McGrath and Last Chance 2. Late Super Stocks, our champion from last year, Brian Bowles and Alter Ego, and then Hogs Big Temptation and Martin Daniel Over the Edge. And 2-wheel drive truck.
I saw that. So they only accepted 1, or did they only have 1 that finished high enough to qualify?
They only had 1 high enough to qualify.
So the other one, the Little Temptation, will be hoping to make it in on the fan vote.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, when I called them, they want to bring both. And I said, well, then you need to push it on social media.
Yep.
And fan voting's live. I just verified the link is working, so you should see that on the website. 2-wheel drives, we have Richard Morris and the Buffalo's Chips. We have Don Nelson and Lil Whip. He was the champion in 2022, so he got an automatic bid that way. Jared Nelson and the Midnight Revenger. Chase Richardson, Suffering Sanity. John Hunt and Taz. And then Don Nelson and Whip It.
That's already going to be a stacked lineup just with that right there. I mean, that one, and then with there being 265 others vying to get in, but just to try to navigate through those 7, that's worth your price of admission just to watch that class.
Absolutely. The Super Stock Diesel trucks, we have John Mans and the Crazy X, Craig Dickey and the Cummins Killer 3, Jeremy Yeager and Pipe Dream, Van Hazley, Rock Hard Ram, Kent Crowder and Shy Diesel, and our champion from last year was Eric Stacy and Smoking HD. So he'll be back in mini rods. So this should be our last class. We have both the Slaw Tractors, Have No Mercy, Show No Mercy. Our champion from last year, Grant Theobald and the Little Wicked. And making his debut in Nashville, Illinois, will be Ken Benny and the Funny Little Farmall.
Yeah. Which Ken's one of those awesome ones. Not only is he going to be incredibly tough to beat, you're going to put butts in seats just knowing that he's there. He's kind of like the original Bigfoot monster truck. When you can guarantee that Ken Benny is going to be somewhere, fans show up just because they want an opportunity to see that.
I'm not supposed to play favorites, but please vote Esden Lane's light super in for the diesels. That'd be neat. I just want to throw that out there. I know Brent told me to always keep it above board, but I'm going to break the rule, and I really want that tractor there. I think the whole world is it Diggin' Light? What do they call it?
Diggin' Fever.
Diggin' Fever.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Finally be done.
Scroll down through the time.
So, but yeah, we'll start making those posts for all those initial invites that did accept throughout the bamboo portion of it.
We're going to move on to our. We're going to talk to the Florida Zelwood guys that they're waiting in backstage. Will you come back on at 9:00 and just kind of update us on how it's gone the first hour, and then we have a little more time. Then I got some promoters scheduled, and I don't want to take away from them either.
Not a problem. Just put me backstage and I'll come back. I'll just leave it up.
I'll do that. Thanks, buddy. See you at 9. Everybody, head over to pullerchampionship.com. Vote for your favorite pullers. If you are a puller, last year we paid $5,000 to win. Last place got their $500 back plus another $1,000. So when you do the math on that, and you get national exposure, I got something pretty excited to tell Brent, but I can't say it on air. I got a really, really good email today from a national TV. I can't freaking believe it. So I can't believe I haven't told him yet, but I was on a conference call for 4 hours today. So guys, we're trying to grow the sport. This will be live streamed as well. Every dollar from the live stream and the gate and every dollar above our fixed cost from sponsorship goes back to the Pullers. Nobody's making money on this. The Pullers deserve it. That's why it's called the Pullers Championship. So go vote, share it around. Even if you're just a fan, please share it on your social media, May 16th and 17th. We're going to move to Zellwood, Florida right now to talk to John and Brandon. Brent will be back in 1 hour. Thanks, Brent. Michael, cool stuff.
I've got goosebumps. You left one heck of a teaser right there, and that's just such a fun event.
I honest to God forgot it until
the
I've
Pullers
had a very busy
Championship
week.
for me signifies the kickoff. It's the Daytona 500 of outdoor pulling season. And man, I'm drowning in snow right now, and you're making me feel like May's right around the corner. It can't get here soon enough.
You have snow?
Bunches of snow,
Do
bushels.
you guys have
of
school
snow.
tomorrow?
Huh?
Do you have school tomorrow?